Imagine, for a moment, a book that nobody can read. A book that has traveled through centuries, guarded by libraries, kings, collectors, and scholars, yet still refuses to reveal its secrets. A book written in a language no one understands, filled with drawings that seem familiar and alien at the same time. This is not a fairy tale. This is the story of the Voynich Manuscript. It rests today in the Voynich Rare Book and Manuscript Library at Yale University. When you look at it, you see parchment pages, aged and fragile, but intact. The drawings, plants that look almost like the ones you might find in your garden, but not quite. Women bathing in green pools connected by elaborate plumbing systems. Strange astronomical charts with suns, moons, and stars, yet none that match our sky exactly. And words, thousands of words, flowing across the pages, written in an alphabet no one else has ever used. A text that feels deliberate, precise, and yet completely incomprehensible. The mystery of the Voynich Manuscript begins not only with its content, but with its very existence. Who wrote it? Why? Was it meant to be a medical text, a book of magic, a hoax, or something else entirely, something we can't yet imagine? To follow its trail, we have to travel back in time. Picture Europe in the early 15th century. Wars, plagues, empires rising and falling, scholars rediscovering lost works of the ancients, alchemists searching for formulas to transform the world. Somewhere in this landscape, the Voynich Manuscript was created. Radiocarbon testing places its parchment between 1404 and 1438. That makes it over 600 years old. But even knowing that, the questions multiply. Who was the hand behind it? Over the years, theories have pointed to famous names. Roger Bacon, the Franciscan friar with a fascination for science and secret codes. John Dee, advisor to Queen Elizabeth I, and a man obsessed with angelic languages. Even Leonardo da Vinci has been whispered in speculation, though the timelines don't quite match. Each theory, once examined closely, begins to unravel like smoke. Yet the manuscript endures. It passed from one collector to another, resurfacing in 1912 when a Polish antiquarian, Wilfrid Voynich, purchased it from the Jesuit college near Rome. His name would forever be attached to the book, though he too failed to unlock its secrets. Voynich believed he had found the lost work of Roger Bacon, and for years he tried to prove it. But despite his efforts, the book remained mute. As you turn its pages, imagine yourself there, gently touching parchment that has been turned by countless hands. You realize the manuscript speaks a language that no one else ever has. Cryptographers, linguists, mathematicians, computer scientists, all have tried. During World War II, codebreakers who cracked the Enigma machine also studied it. They broke Nazi ciphers, but not the Voynich Manuscript. And this is where the story takes on its own life, because the mystery is not just about decoding words. It is about confronting the unknown. It is about realizing that even in an age where information flows endlessly, there are still corners of human knowledge that resist explanation. The Voynich Manuscript stands as a reminder. Some puzzles are larger than us. Some truths remain veiled. But let's not rush. Tonight, we will wander through its history, page by page, theory by theory. We will meet the people who tried to solve it, the strange plants that fill its folios, the astrological wheels that hint at another cosmos. We'll drift into the pools where painted women bathe, wondering if they are allegories of medicine, rituals of fertility, or symbols we can no longer name. We will explore not only what is written, but what it does to us, the way mystery shapes the human mind, the way curiosity drives us deeper into darkness in search of light. So sit back, let the shadows lengthen, let the hours pass unnoticed, because the manuscript is not in a hurry, and neither are we. As we open the manuscript in our imagination, the first impression is not one of chaos, but of deliberate design. The text runs smoothly, written by a steady hand, line after line. Whoever created it had discipline, patience, and intent. This was not the work of someone scribbling nonsense at random. No, it carries the weight of a purpose. The question is, whose purpose? Look closely, and you notice that the alphabet is unlike any other. Scholars call it Voynich. It consists of strange loops, curves, and strokes that seem deceptively simple, but they combine into patterns that resist translation. Statistical analysis shows that it behaves like a real language. It has word frequency, repetition, even grammar-like structures. And yet, it matches no known tongue. Some say it might be a cipher, others that it could be an entirely lost language. Turn to the illustrations. The plants first. Some look almost like real herbs. A leaf that could belong to a sunflower. A root that resembles ginseng. But just when you think you've recognized something familiar, the details twist into impossibility. The flowers bloom in unnatural shapes. The stems bend in unlikely ways. Were these meant to represent real botany? Or were they symbolic? Plants of the imagination, perhaps even magical ones. Then there are the women, naked, round-faced, often shown bathing in strange green liquid. They stand in tubs connected by networks of pipes, almost like a plumbing diagram. Some researchers say this could represent medical treatments, perhaps connected to women's health or fertility. Others believe it's entirely allegorical, maybe even alchemical. Could these women be symbolic figures, representing forces of nature? Could the pools be metaphors for life, rebirth, or cosmic energy? And then the astronomical diagrams. Suns with radiant faces, moons in various phases, circles filled with stars. Some pages resemble zodiac charts, Aries, Taurus, Sagittarius, yet they are drawn in unfamiliar ways, surrounded by symbols that defy interpretation. Imagine a medieval astrologer gazing at the sky, trying to map not only what was seen above, but what was believed to exist beyond sight. Perhaps the Voynich Manuscript is a cosmic map, a bridge between heaven and earth. As the pages unfold, you realize this is not a single book with a single theme. It feels like a compendium, a library condensed into one manuscript. Plants, astronomy, biology, recipes, cosmology, all linked by a script that nobody can read. But let us step away from the content just for a moment and follow its path through history. After its creation in the 15th century, the manuscript drifts into shadow. Its first confirmed appearance is in the 1600s Prague, where it is found in the court of Emperor Rudolf II. Rudolf was known for his fascination with the occult, alchemy, and hidden knowledge. He collected strange artifacts, works of magic, and rare manuscripts. Legend has it that he purchased the Voynich Manuscript for 600 gold ducats, a fortune at the time. He believed it to be the work of Roger Bacon, the English friar and scholar who lived in the 13th century. From there, it passed into the hands of Jacobus Horsicki de Tepanex, the imperial physician, whose name still faintly appears on the first page. Later, it became part of the collection of Athanasius Kircher, a Jesuit scholar in Rome. Kircher was obsessed with deciphering unknown languages, especially Egyptian hieroglyphs. Letters from the 1600s survive, in which an alchemist named Johannes Marcus Marci sent the manuscript to Kircher, asking him to unlock its mysteries. Kircher never succeeded, but through his possession, the manuscript entered the library of the Jesuit college in Rome, where it remained hidden for centuries. And then, in 1912, it emerged again, this time in the hands of Wilfrid Voynich. Imagine his excitement as he opened the pages, realizing he had found something extraordinary. He carried it with him to London, New York, and beyond, showing it to experts, searching for someone who could break the code. His wife, Ethel Voynich, an Irish novelist and musician, inherited it after his death, and from her it passed eventually to Yale, where it rests today. Through all these hands, through all these centuries, the manuscript has remained silent. Its words do not yield. Its secrets do not soften. And yet, with every decade, its legend grows stronger. Think of it. In our world, where so many mysteries have already been solved, here lies a book that resists all explanation. That is its power. That is why people cannot look away. The manuscript did not end its journey in silence. By the 20th century, it had become a magnet for theories, each more curious than the last. Some believed it was the work of Roger Bacon. Others swore it was a hoax meant to deceive an emperor. But as decades passed, the fascination only grew stronger. During World War II, the manuscript was studied by some of the greatest cryptographers of the age. These were the men who broke the Nazi Enigma code, who faced puzzles of life and death. If anyone could solve the Voynich, surely it would be them. But even they could not. The manuscript resisted their brilliance, offering only patterns without meaning. This failure gave rise to new theories. Perhaps it was a lost language, the last voice of a culture that had vanished from history. Perhaps it was an elaborate cipher, one so private that without its key, it would remain forever sealed. Others dreamed wilder dreams, an artifact of secret societies, a manual of alchemy, even a gift from another world. Each theory revealed less about the manuscript and more about the people who studied it. As the digital age dawned, the mystery spread far beyond libraries and scholars. When Yale placed high-resolution scans online, millions of curious minds across the world could turn its pages. Programmers, hobbyists, linguists, dreamers, they all tried their hand. Theories multiplied like stars. Forums buzzed with new ideas. Every few years, headlines declared, "Voynich Manuscript deciphered." But each claim, once studied closely, unraveled into nothing. Artificial intelligence entered the hunt. Neural networks scanned the strange script, comparing it to hundreds of known languages. They found structure, rhythm, even echoes of meaning, but no translation. The book mocked the machines just as it mocked the humans before them. If it is language, it is one beyond our grasp. If it is artifice, it is an artifice of astonishing power. And so, the manuscript lives on, not just in Yale, but in culture itself. It has appeared in novels and films, in video games and music. For some, it is a book of magic. For others, an alien text. For all, it is a symbol of mystery. It is no longer only a manuscript. It is an icon, an emblem of the unknown. Why does it hold us so tightly? Because it reminds us that even in a world of endless information, not all can be known. Because mystery feeds imagination. Because the unanswered questions tell us more about ourselves than the answers ever could. Perhaps, one day, it will be solved. Perhaps some forgotten key will be discovered in a dusty archive. Perhaps a new algorithm will pierce its defenses. But if that day comes, will we rejoice? Or will we feel deep down a pang of disappointment? For there is beauty in mystery. There is wonder in the unsolved. The Voynich Manuscript is not just a book. It is an experience. A reminder that some truths resist, that some doors stay closed, that some voices remain whispers in the dark. And maybe that is its true purpose. Not to be solved, but to be lived, to haunt us, to inspire us, to remind us of the endless hunger for meaning. To say, across 6 centuries, in silence, there are still mysteries. The Voynich Manuscript may never tell us what it means, but it tells us endlessly who we are.